Welcome to CrossFire, presented by Microsoft Surface, the official laptop and sideline technology provider for the LA Chargers. Alongside Matt Miller and Eric Crocker, Chris Hayre here with you. And today we're going to debate DBs, a talented cornerback class in the 2021 NFL Draft. And fellas, let's get right to it. Make your case. Patrick Surtain of Alabama or Jaycee Horn of South Carolina? Matt, kick us off.
Yeah, this is tough going against somebody who actually did this in the NFL, as opposed to myself, who topped out as a very bad free safety at a 1A school in Missouri. But I'm going to go with Patrick Surtain, the second from Alabama. He is, to me, the profile of what we look for in defensive backs in this day and age. Athletically, he's going to compare close to a guy like Jalen Ramsey in terms of being 6'2", 200+ pounds, running in the 4.4 range, if you believe Pro Day times. But also, you can look at the film. 3 years of really, really good play at Alabama, going against some of the best of the best. And what I love about him, Eric, is that he can play zone coverage, he can play man coverage. At Alabama, they asked him to play a lot of different roles. So there might be a little bit of an acclimation point as he gets to the NFL, and they say, hey, you got to just go play on an island, or hey, we're going to have you play cover 3 all the time. But I do think his traits make him the best corner in this class.
All right, I can't dispute too much of that. Obviously he's extremely talented. Anybody that comes into Alabama and they're starting as a true freshman, and with his pedigree, that size and everything, I think you nailed a lot of good things with him. My guy, with Horn, along with some of the things that you touched on, the size, the speed, the ability, right, the traits. Horn has all those things, but then he has the things that you can't teach. And it's that mindset, that dog, that aggressiveness, right? Like the ability to take on different type of challenges. He guards the big guys extremely well. He has that size, but to see him be able to match up with smaller guys in the slot and have that type of versatility, I think that was big. If you want a guy where you're just like, hey man, go guard that guy because that's their best receiver, and that's why we drafted you in the top 10, I think Horn is your guy.
I love it. And both guys, obviously with NFL bloodlines, with Patrick Surtain and Jaycee Horn. All right, guys, next topic. True or false? Caleb Farley is the best corner in the draft. Eric, kick us off.
I'd say he's the most talented, but not the best. Yeah. He has some kind of rawness in his game. I do see more of a pure athlete playing corner. The freaky ability is all there, right? When the ball's in the air, people ask me who's your comp from? And I'm like, I don't know, because he has some freaky ability. But the one thing that kind of worried me a little bit with his feet, when he anticipates it and he can I think this is gonna happen, he closes and can get out of his braces clean as anybody. But when he has to play where he's just reacting, especially in space, it's not very clean. So a lot of really big upside. I think he just has to become a little bit more refined. And that's what the NFL for, right? They're supposed to train him to get right on those things. So most talented, but I don't think he's the best.
Yeah, and I'll jump on to the health side of things because we have a player who's had a knee injury and now 2 back surgeries. That microdiscectomy that Adam Schefter reported a couple weeks ago that he's going to have to undergo. Those are the questions for me because Eric's right. The freaky ability is there to be 6'2". I think they timed him at over 24 miles per hour once during the 2019 season. That's not normal at his size. That's Tyrique Hill stuff. So we've only seen 1 season of real cornerback play from him because he did make that transition when he got to Virginia Tech, and then he opted out of the 2020 season. So those are the questions for me. You can look at the height, weight, speed and say yes. And I know a lot of NFL scouts before the season started, they really thought he was the top corner in this class. This dude, when he sees it, like Eric said, he closes on the ball so well. He's super aggressive jumping routes. He has great hands, but can he stay on the field? Can he stay healthy? That's the biggest reason why I would say false. As far as the best corner, he might be the biggest boom or bust, where in 3 years, we might be like, how did Caleb Farley fall to the 20s? But we have to remember it was because of medicals.
Fellas, next topic, and we talked so much about Farley and Horn and Surtain. Give me a guy who's underrated. Who's the most underrated corner in this draft class, Matt?
Yeah, I'm going to go to Georgia, and they have 2 very good ones, but I'm going to take Tyson Campbell. It's funny because a lot of the things that we've just said about Jaycee Horn, Caleb Farley, I think you could apply them to Tyson Campbell as well. He has excellent length. He does play with that kind of dog mentality that Eric was talking about, where I'll just line up and take this guy out of the game. He's very, very good near the line of scrimmage, I think. The height, weight, speed perspective, length, and his ability to come up and make plays in the run game. That's why Eric Stokes, his teammate, was pretty highly regarded headed into the year, but Tyson Campbell stole the show. And I think that's where he's looking at now, maybe being the 4th or 5th corner drafted.
I'm going to go a different route. So I'm watching this kid from Northwestern, Greg Newsome, right? And I'm like, oh man, okay, he looks about 5'10", 180 pounds, moves extremely well, you know, fluid hips. I think he can be a little bit more explosive out of his breaks, but I like the feet. I love his versatility. Thought he was really good in press, thought he was really good in off. And then he goes to his pro day, and I'm like, wait a minute, he's 6 foot, 6'1", 190 something pounds? Like, what?
Right.
Guys might be high on him. So when we say underrated, I say he's underrated from the aspect of I'm really high on him. He can line up in the inside. He has that quick twitch ability, and then he has a scrappiness, and he plays with that little like kind of arrogance that you want from your cornerback. I love him. I think if you tell me in a few years he's a CB1 for a team, wouldn't be shocked at all.
All right, guys, final topic. And Eric, we'll start with you. Let's say Horn, Farley, Surtain, they're all on the board at 13. Do the Chargers turn in the card, or do they wait a round or two on corner?
Oh, I mean, I think just with Farley and his versatility and his ability to play off kind of what the Chargers might start going to more, but also play press and do some matchup stuff. They did a lot of things last year with the Rams with Jalen Ramsey, you know, and I know the defense coordinator is over there with the Chargers now. If he views Farley as his Ramsey, which I think most people probably would say that's a pretty good little matchup, and maybe even a freakier athlete than Ramsey, who's a terrific athlete, I think you have to kind of go with Farley in that situation right there if you are the Chargers.
Yeah, and I would say if those three are on the board, that means the top offensive tackles are probably gone already. So if Penei Sewell's there, it's a different conversation. If Rashawn Slater's on the board, that's a different conversation. But if those three corners are on the board, I think you go corner, round one. This is a very deep offensive tackle class, something we talked about with Jeff Schwartz. The two biggest needs for this team, I think you can find offensive linemen in round two. And again, with Staley coming over from the Rams, the trademark of that defense was Jalen Ramsey, being able to take away one entire side of the field and take away the best receiver so that you can blitz, get that pass rush from your front four. The Chargers have the guys to get the pressure, right? Bosa's pretty good at that. So I think now you got to get that corner who can take away all the great receivers in the AFC West.
Fellas, fired off some great takes here on CrossFire, presented by Microsoft Surface, the official laptop and sideline technology provider for the LA Chargers.